Is that awesome, Max? Hello. Oh. Are you bringing smiles to people today, Max? Hey, flockers. We're live on the patio with a patio pop-up. Yeah, this is one of the unscheduled live streams. You never know when we're going to do a pop-up. No, we don't, Max. So we just popped out. I've got coffee. I've got Max. You said whatever. Hello, hello. I'm going to lean forward every so often to catch comments. I see we have Anne. We've got Vanessa. Yeah, people think you're cute, buddy. People think you're cute. Yeah. Is that awesome? That awesome, buddy? Yeah. Up. There you go. Oh, do you see a dog? Yeah, so one of the reasons I thought I'd go live as a pop-up is Max is feeling really talkative. We've got barking, we've got barking, and we got lots of activity with people driving past on the street. So Max has plenty to be excited about this morning. Not right, buddy? Yeah. If you're gonna fluff, you're not gonna do so beside my coffee. Oh, I thought you had a fluff to do. It is awesome. Okay, we're going to move that, and we're going to put the coffee here. Because I don't want to be drinking feathers. I know, buddy. It is beautiful out here right now. It is awesome, yeah. It's another warm day, Max. Max will tell you all about that. Yeah, yesterday, 27, 28 Celsius. Today's supposed to get up there as well. Yeah, Max. We might go for a walk this afternoon. What do you think? But we will avoid the seagulls. I know you didn't like the seagulls this week. Those were a pretty scary thing. Yeah. Okay, how about you hop here? Oops. Let's see comments. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Sharon. Yeah, it is a nice cup. Melissa asks, why do birds rub their beak on stuff? It's a bit of a way of polishing their beak, keeping it clean, knocking off anything that's gotten onto it because they eat with their beaks all the time. Tico actually likes to grab a napkin or paper towel and scrub his beak with it. Sometimes he'll do a piece of newspaper, uses it just like a napkin. Oh, apple. Yeah, well, we can talk about apples out here. We can go inside and get one later. Do you see people? Yeah, you're a dinosaur. Oh, awesome. Awesome. Yeah. So, yeah, it's part of grooming too. Hi, Karen. Hi, Ann. Hi, Julia. I know I've said hello to people a couple of times. Max, can I get a buck? How about a buck? That's right. That's just for you, Anne. Yeah. And Max is wondering if Tango's here. He's got some barks for Tango. Isn't that right? Yeah, and if Max is feeling chatty like this, I'm going to let him go because, hey, why not? I'm just going to shift that up a little bit there. Yeah. You're welcome, Anne. Max usually... Yeah, he won't balk on command indoors, but usually outside. I can ask him, are you happy and you know it? Buck. Yeah, you'll consider it. Yeah. Oh, it's just beautiful out. It is a little bit sunny, but that's okay. We'll take advantage of the nice weather while it's here, right, Max? Good job. Yeah. Yeah, Sharon, enjoying the cup today. Nice big. The thing I love about it is a big, big mug of coffee. It stays warm, nice and heavy, hard to knock over. Love big bags. I also love that it's got a story behind it, and I just love mugs that have a bit of a story, and I can say this mug came from this person who, and you know, it's a smile every time I open up my cupboard. Isn't that right, Betty? Yeah. Oh boy, Max. I got feathers. We got new feathers coming in. Yes, you do. Yeah. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, we're talking about mugs. I know this is going to sound a little bit strange, but I've got... Sorry, Max. Just rearranging myself. I know. Trying not to kick over the camera. But I've got a mug that my friend Connie gave me. And I think, as you know, Connie passed away earlier this year. But every time I have coffee out of that mug, Connie's here with me. So, yeah, I think about her, keep her memory alive. So that was really quite special. But, you know, just... You know, often I just grab a mug and I think about some friends. It's like, oh, a friend of mine who dances gave me this one, and I remember when. You know, so it's sort of, you know, it's a smile every time I open up the cupboard. Oh my goodness, Max. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Is that a big scritchy? Oh. Look at all those new feathers coming in. Want to inspect those? All right, we'll just drop them. Looks like you got dandruff with all those new feathers coming in. Yeah. Oops. Ah. Max. Yeah, Tico is really, really excited. He saw what I came home with from the grocery store yesterday. Groceries are a little bit of a gong show. I'd ordered to collect the groceries, and there was a bit of a screw up at the store. So they only had one item out of my groceries the first time I went, and I had to go back, and yeah, wasn't too impressed with them. They should have told me it was delayed. But yeah, I got paper cups for the birds. Yeah. Awesome. I know. So that's what I got the first time at the store, apparently. But I came home with something that the flock was quite happy with. You know, the grapes were in season, but there was something special for Tico. First plum of the year. Brought it inside late last night when my groceries finally were ready for collection. I still need to give it a good wash, but he looked pretty happy when he saw it come in. Yeah. So Tico has plans for a pumpkin this afternoon. Yeah, Max, your brother loves his pumpkins. I'm just going to keep preening here. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I pull? Yeah, I pulled. Oh, I feel good. Yeah. Oh, new feathers. You see all the new feathers? Yeah. Yeah, you give yourself a good preening. We've got Parrot Palooza next weekend. Let's see if I've missed any comments. Oops. Wow. Sun is just at the wrong angle right now. Max, can I get you to step up? I need to really lean in here for a second. Oh, Julia's asking about the seagulls. It's actually a really good question, Julia. So what happened with the seagulls? How do your feathers get everywhere, buddy? What happened with the seagulls last weekend? We were out on an adventure in a new place we hadn't been walking before. Well, it's attached to a place we have been, but we went adventuring, and Max was quite happy. We kept going a little bit further, and Max was quite happy. He was looking around thinking, yeah, this is pretty cool. This is an adventure. I like this. And then there were a couple of seagulls overhead, and he just looked at them lazily, didn't seem too bothered by them. And then a flock of seagulls took flight. And if you watch the video, we posted it this week. Hello. There were, there's got to be at least 100 seagulls that took flight. At least 100. And they were cawing an alarm, and they were excited, and they were upset, and oh my goodness, the seagulls were not happy with the world. And Max took one look and went, what's going on? He got kind of nervous and immediately told me, we got to turn around, we got to walk the other way, walk faster, Uman, come on, we got to go. And he steered me. And once he got me moving, he came in for a cuddle. And when Max cuddles, he walks over to the cuddle arm, and he buries his head right in my shirt. He's got an adventure arm and a cuddle arm. He's picky about that. But he buried his head right in my shirt. And even if I tried to pull him away, he just grabbed onto my shirt and pulled himself in closer. But he needed a hug. He needed a cuddle. A kilometer later, he was still wanting to cuddle with me, even though the seagulls were nowhere in sight. But I think what had happened is we do have a lot of wild animals around. I mean, it's the edge of the city. We've got hawks and everything else. And the seagulls were definitely interested in something. And this is at the edge of the city. Right, Max? Come. There you go. I just need to adjust. Yeah. But I think something scared the seagulls, and I think the seagulls raised a cry of alarm, and Max understood that they were screaming an alarm, and he said, hey, there's something really, really wrong. We got to get out of here. Yeah. And he wasn't quite too sure what was going on, so he just wanted me to get home where he thought he was safe. So, yeah, and I posted it as a short with him cuddling in, because I think it's really quite sweet how he does that. And I don't often catch that on camera, because usually when he wants attention like that, I'm just focused, I'm living in the moment. I'm just giving him the hug, I'm giving him a cuddle, I'm reassuring him it's okay. But in this case, we've been walking for about 1 kilometer, and it's like, okay, buddy, you know what? You've had lots of cuddles, you've had lots of reassurance. Maybe I will catch this on camera, because there's nothing that's clear and present danger to Max. There's nothing that he should be immediately scared about. So I thought I would try that and see what was going on. But yeah. Hey, Max. Yes, we got that on camera, right, buddy? Oh boy. Yeah. Happy Max says awesome. Let's see. I just want to scroll this up a little bit here. Yeah. Got some seagull fans. Whoa. Probably helps if I don't put my hand right on top of the camera, right, folks? There's Max. Everyone's saying you're cute, Max. I'm just going to scroll down to the bottom. Yeah. Sharon's saying they get a lot of seagulls there. They're close to the ocean. Yeah, we get some in the city. It varies. You know, obviously we're nowhere close to the ocean here. Day's drive to get to the ocean, right, buddy? Very much landlocked. Okay, there you go. Mama needs her coffee. Yeah, that's a good coffee. Yeah. So, I don't know if it interrupted the stream or not. You may have just heard a chime. That was just Etsy letting me know that an order had come in. And I will take a minute just to tell everybody about the deal that Etsy has right now. Etsy, if you don't know, Etsy, we've got an Etsy account at maxmoluccan.etsy.com. Super easy to remember, maxmoluccan.etsy.com. We've got an Etsy account on, and we've had it for a couple of years now. We've got some goodies, right, Max? We have fridge magnets, and we have keychains, and acrylic pins, bookmarks, notebooks, greeting cards, a little bit of Max jewelry, stickers. What am I forgetting to tell people about Max? Now, we've got all sorts of fun goodies in the store. And Etsy is coming out with a really special deal for some of the smaller creators this weekend. It's this weekend only, and it's limited to Canada, the US, and the UK. They've got all of the details on their site. But Etsy is offering a $5 coupon. And they do have a minimum order. But any purchases that meet the minimum order, if you use the Etsy coupon, and I've got that in the community tab on YouTube, I've posted it on InstaFlock, I've posted it on Facebook. So the code is out there. I just can't remember what it is from the top of my head, but I've got that all noted there. And even if you go to the Etsy site, you'll see advertising about the deal. They're giving a $5 coupon, and it doesn't come off of anything that I'm selling. They're just doing that to drive some traffic to the sites and probably encourage creators like me to talk about them a bit. But yeah, so we've had quite a few people take advantage of that deal, and it really is a great deal, you know. So Max merch, we do ship worldwide. Max has got a bunch of thank you cards to sign for people who've done some orders. Yeah, you got to sign a bunch of cards today, buddy. I got to put you to work. Because orders, the ones that came in on the weekend, I'll be getting those shipped out on Monday. So that's our next pickup date. In Canada, we don't have pickup on the weekends, do we, buddy? Yeah. But yeah, so kind of fun, but just thought I'd mention that. So you can take advantage of that, right, Max? Oh, did I pull? Oh, what am I doing? I'm pulling your feathers. I'm supposed to be preening them. Awesome. But yeah. And if you missed our stream yesterday, we were talking about Parrot Palooza next weekend. So I'll talk about that just briefly. Parrot Palooza is on Saturday, the 23rd. And what are you doing, Max? I know. And that is an event in Calgary. It's not nearly as big as the Parrot Palooza that you see in the States. But our Calgary event, it's put on by the Calgary Parrot Club. And like previous years, we have a table for Max. We'll have Max merch there as well. Yeah, you're pretty excited, Max, aren't you? Yeah, you tell them. Yeah? Yeah, Max, we can bring some apples to the event for you to eat. Yeah, okay, we'll bring apples, I know. But, yeah, we'll meet friends. Your friend Corky will be there. All of your guy friends will be there. Yeah, Brian will be there. Fozzie Bear will be there. Lori will be there. Yeah, it's going to be pretty awesome. But it's honestly a great event to hang out at. And we've got a table reserved, so we're going to be there all day. And that means that we're going to be there during our regularly scheduled live stream. And the way that the event works, there's so many people coming to talk to Max, and it's very interactive. It's just like almost a trade show. Like Max is going to be a bit of a star of the show, and we know that. So we know that we're not going to get an opportunity to do our regular Saturday live stream. We might do a pop-up from the show to just sort of a minute here, a minute there. We'll have lots of footage after the show, but we won't be doing our regularly scheduled Saturday live stream. So yeah, missing one a year isn't too bad, is it, Max? You got a good excuse? Are you excited about Palooza? You're gonna have friends there? All sorts of friends. I know! Oh, ha. Now, Max, you're looking like you're ready for a nap. Huh? Nap on the patio? I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing. You can nap on the patio if you like. Okay. Yeah. Max was up a couple of times. He was up at 2 in the morning when we had a couple of fire trucks go sailing past. Could hear the sirens in the distance. Fire truck sirens tend to wake me up a lot differently than, say, something like a ambulance. I mean, an ambulance you kind of expect to go past. The fire truck, you tend to put on your glasses and just look outside long enough to see A, where are they turning, and B, is there an immediate problem. But Max heard the sirens coming, and before they even reached us, he was letting me know that there might be a problem. He called out a couple of times. So I got up and looked out all the windows to make sure and checked. They didn't turn at the end of the street. They kept going straight, so it was not anywhere near me. Right, Max? And the fun thing about the 2 in the morning one, normally vehicles do not trigger my door camera. But the fire truck going past, it was large enough and the lights were flashing enough, and it, I had a few moths and whatever flying around outside my light and around the doorbell camera. All of that combined was enough that my doorbell camera decided to announce that there's somebody out front. No, there isn't camera. It's just fire truck. Once in a blue moon, that'll trigger. And yeah, I don't mind. I like to know what's going on. And then first thing this morning, it was even before the alarm went off, right, Max? We had another couple of fire trucks going past, sirens blaring. They were in a big hurry. Woke Max up. I got up early, and then Max got grouchy with me to say, "What are you doing? It is Sunday, lady. I'm supposed to get my beauty sleep." Oh, I'm sorry. Did I pull? I know. Yeah, nice scritchies. Yeah, a little bit of a preen. That's okay if you duck your head. Yeah, it is kind of fun to just sit out on the patio with Max sometimes. He acts very differently outside than inside. What do you see, buddy? What do you see? Do you see people? Do you see people? Do you see doggos? You gonna get a buck? How about a buck? You're a little happier now that we've got a little bit of shade, huh? Yeah, there is lots of traffic noise, and that's not a big problem. I'm just gonna scroll here for comments. We've got F90 asking us how big of a city we're in to have the kind of traffic. We're on the outskirts of the city. We're in a community. Calgary is a big city. It's got a couple million people in it. It is a large city. It's actually larger than Edmonton, and Edmonton is officially the capital of Alberta. But hey, we can be larger. I mean, we're just as big as cities like Toronto or Vancouver. I mean, we're usually listed right up there with them, right, buddy? Yeah. So we are a big city where we are, and I'm just going to pick up the camera and give it a quick turn. We've got the boulevard out here, and this boulevard. Here we go. Hopefully I just aimed the camera at that rather than something indeterminate. This one, there's a turn lane which makes it look a little bit wider here, but it's 2 lanes in each direction. 60-kilometer-an-hour roads. Actually, it slows down to 50 just in front of my place as people head over to the main feeder to pick up on a major thoroughfare that is 100k an hour. Now, for folks who don't speak metric, 50 kilometers an hour is a typical speed for residential. 60 is a typical speed for a bit of a feeder. The translation that I always remember for speed is 55 miles per hour equals 90 kilometers an hour. So if I use that to sort of wave my hand in the air, 30-35 is probably the speed out here, and people sometimes speed. So yeah, it is a fairly busy road, but it's only people coming into the community that are using it. But the community's gotten fairly big. Some people will use it to cut through the community, but honestly it's easier to just go a little few blocks south and pick up a much busier freeway. Whoa, big noisy car. Yeah. I think he's running way too rich. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, that's where we are, but it's actually kind of good. What do you want, buddy? You want over? Oh, you don't like that car. It's okay, hon. Where do you want to go? You want to go on my leg? Is that what you want? Okay. Yeah, you want me to have both arms free to keep you safe. Awesome. All right. All right. Is that okay? Yeah. Now, one question I sometimes get with Max, and I love to talk about questions. Why do I handle him outside of just his head? Why do I sometimes stroke his back, especially if I'm coming up on the way to his head? I start with his back. It's because he has always been super, super nervous about his head. His head is a no-go zone unless you know him well and he trusts you and he feels comfortable with you. Even with me, he wouldn't let me touch his head for a couple of years. And I think what had happened when he was younger is somebody had pulled out some feathers on his head, or there'd been something that happened that bothered him. So I go after his head, which is go zone, but I start off on his back, usually on my way up there. And if somebody's meeting Max and say, can I touch him? I usually say, yes, you may touch him on the back. And why would I say, hey, touch him on the back? Isn't that kind of rude with a bird? Isn't that sort of like going, hey, hubba hubba? I think everybody knew what I meant there. But each bird interprets things a little bit differently. I keep a close eye on Max to see his body language and how he's interpreting things. He thinks that somebody coming up, touching his back, and sort of working the way up to the head, that's okay. He doesn't really interpret that one as being overly sensual or being a potential mate going after him. Yeah, feels good. Feels good. But I do keep an eye on him. So if he starts exhibiting what you might term as hormonal behavior, that's when I immediately back off or stop the behavior. There's a video where Max meets my father. Now, my father's not a bird person. And my father tends to, I think his context is probably more dogs. So he comes up and he starts petting Max like a dog. And Max actually kind of likes it. My father's kind of proud of himself because he's touching this big, big bird that he's a little unsure about. And there's one video where Max gets a little too excited and starts, polite way to put it is, he starts encouraging my father's arm to lay an egg. I just, hey bud, let's not do that. This is not appropriate behavior. This is not your mate. I know you're kind of hoping He might be a female Moluccan, but not going to happen. But yeah, I do keep an eye on it. But that's why I start off with Max's back, just because it's what he is comfortable with. It's him specifically. Yeah, and then I work the way up to the head. And I give a preen. But it's also good if you have birds, being able to handle a bird and being able to go underneath the wings and touch in the front and touch in the back. It's really, really important because you can keep a better tab on your bird. You can do things like you can put on harnesses. You know, if the bird is uncomfortable with hands under the wings or hands on his body, he's gonna just freak out if you try to put on a harness. If the vet ever has to handle Max, he's used to being handled and he's not scared of hands. He's also not scared of towels. We'll play with towels. They become a game for him. And I've always encouraged that because, hey, if he ever has to go to the vet, I would rather him to be relatively calm and just see it as, hey, this is okay. That towel's not going to eat me. I played with them before. This is something I'm supposed to throw on the floor, rather than, oh my goodness, it's a parrot-eating monster. But if you handle your bird regularly, you can do things like you can assess the crop. You can see, you know, hey, what's going on with the food in the crop. You can check for feather cysts. You can check things like the preen gland and say, hey, how's your preen gland looking, buddy? Just take a quick look at that. Yeah, that's looking kind of nice. There's no problems there. But I can handle him and I can give him a bit of a once-over and I can keep better tabs on his health. One thing about birds, they are incredibly good about hiding problems. If they're sick, the last thing they want to do is signal to a potential predator that they're weak or they're potentially sick. So they pretend that they're perfectly fine. You know, if you've got birds and you live with them, you do get really good at reading. Whoa, I'm sorry! Oh, I know! You get really good at reading them and understanding. But it's the small things that will tell you that a bird's not well. I mean, an odd-colored poop, you know, different things out of a pattern. Woof, woof, woof! And with Max, I don't panic if he's got a poop that's running in purple. I don't I don't panic if he has a really, really soft poop or something like that. Because I know what's normal for him. Okay, your poop's kind of purplish. It's really runny? How many blueberries did you just eat? Your poop's kind of runny. Well, what did you have? You just had a whole bunch of really, really juicy fruit this morning to eat. Or we just went outside, or you're in an area where it's a little bit of a stressor. Yeah, your poop's going to be a little bit less formed. It's going to be a bit more of a spray. Not a big deal. You're hanging out in your cage. You've been there. You're sort of minding your own business. You're going to get a really nice formed poop. So I don't base a panic on a single poop, but if something concerns me, I watch all of his other poops that day and say, hey, what's going on? Let's put down some clean paper. Please don't flip it over. Let me look. Let me see what's going on, and I can see what things look like. You know, yeah, get a pretty good feel for that, don't I, buddy? But that sort of, you know, monitoring health, you do it in 100 little ways. Like, how much is he sleeping? And why is he sleeping? You know, some folks will say, hey, he's sleeping on a couple of streams. He never used to do that. And your streams are at the same time. Well, yeah, my streams are at the same time. But sunrise and sunset are not. The days are getting longer or shorter. So if he thinks that 10 o'clock a.m. is a great time to take a snooze, and the next day it might be 10:05, and then it might be 10:10, and then 10:15, as the days get a little bit shorter, a little bit longer, because the sun's going to wake him up. You know, sunset's going to cue off on, hey, it's getting dark out, I should settle down, maybe it's sleep time, maybe it's adventure time. But yes, there's a lot going on there. So let's just see comments here. Oh goodness, I'm going to scroll down on comments all the way down. Aww. See. Yeah, we're definitely enjoying it. Hello. Is that awesome, Max? Are you showing your crest? Yeah, you are. Yeah, Max loves this because we do have that pathway just out front and folks are walking down it. How come I'm saying hello to so many people? Do I know them? No, I don't. Most of them I don't know. But there's two things at play here. Number one, I'm Canadian. We tend to be really polite and we greet a lot of people. And oh, you want to stand there? Okay, step. That's what you wanted. I'm Canadian, so we are super polite and we greet a lot of people. Yeah. And number two, I've got a parrot. People see Max and they're looking at Max and they're staring at me. And it kind of feels like I should say hello because otherwise it just feels like I'm just staring back at them and it gets super awkward. Boy, Max. Coffee's good. You know what? It's gotten cold. I'm just gonna give the dregs to that plant. That plant looks thirsty and I know I'm gonna forget to water it. It's gonna be a hot day, so I got just a little bit of a drink. And coffee is good for plants. Yeah. My plants are still flowering. I've still got some really, really pretty. Let's slide this one over for a second. Let's see if I can get that one in. Yeah, some really, really pretty flowers. I plant petunias. And I have big baskets of petunias and little things of petunias. I just buy one of the big flats for about $20. And I split them up between all of the planters. And within a few weeks they tend to fill in and look pretty full. And they do well here. They really like the front face. They're pop color. And hey, I'm not going to complain. It's inexpensive. And they do really well when neglected. So if I forget to water them, they don't mind. If we get a little bit of hard rain or something, they don't care. Yeah. So I have flowers blooming all summer round, which is kind of nice. And for the fall too. So yeah, fall's beginning. Let's just change this around a little bit, Max. There. I know. Yeah, fall's beginning to get here. Awesome. Oh, interesting question from F90. Am I, let me just read that exactly. Am I part Native American or Alaskan? I seem close to nature. No, I'm not. My background, my mother's Dutch. My father is, if you go back a few generations, you get to Germany and to England. So definitely not Native American. I just happen to enjoy having some plants outside, and yeah, and I'm a bird person, right? Is that part of it, buddy? Yeah. And we go for walks in pretty places quite often, right? It's nice to walk. Let's see what else we got here for comments. Karen says that her backyard burbs are back. Carrie is talking about pumpkin season. Guess what, Carrie? We have 2 pumpkins inside. Tico is overjoyed. He's looking at them. I still need to wash them. I just use the bathtub for that because it's too big for the sink. Give them a really, really, really good wash and a bit of a soak before Tico gets them. But Tico has pumpkin. His first pumpkin of the year is going to be this afternoon, and he is going to be one happy African gray. Yeah, he's kept in good form through the year. He's been chewing on things like squash and corn and wood and paper and everything just to keep up his beak muscles, and he's ready for the pumpkin challenge. So as you know, I know it's only the 15th of September, but Tico wants to do a pumpkin challenge this year. We want to challenge all of our flockers, and that's every single one of you. If you've got a bird, here's your pumpkin challenge. Your pumpkin challenge is to get your bird a pumpkin or a squash. And I'm going to give you a little bit of info on that in a minute. Grab that pumpkin from the store. Now, what to look for when you're getting a pumpkin? If, small pumpkins, are they okay? Yes, but make sure that they are not the decorative gourds that are varnished. The varnish is not good for birds, so you just want basically a pumpkin or squash. I mean, an acorn squash or spaghetti squash or anything like that will also do, depending what you've got available. Any of those will do. And, if you've got a smaller bird, maybe go after a smaller pie pumpkin. Get that pumpkin home and wash it well. And that means you're going to wash the outside of it. You're going to wash it like you're washing an apple that you're going to eat the skin of, because the bird's going to be chewing on the skin. And then introduce your bird to the squash. Now, if you haven't introduced a bird to new food before, a whole squash, the bird might just look at it and say, what the heck, who is that? Never seen it before in my life, I'm not touching it. You might have to get it started. You might have to cut a couple of small pieces out to show them that, hey, this is edible, this is tasty, this is good. One of my favorites, and I did this with Tico when he was still a little bit unsure about pumpkins, I would just poke some holes in the pumpkin. Is it fun? You got some laughter. Awesome. Awesome. So awesome. Whoops. I saw a feather I wanted. Yeah. You might poke a few holes in the pumpkin, like just little holes, and then poke some sunflower seeds into those holes. So the bird has to dig to get them out. Foraging, it's foraging fun, and it's going to get the bird into the idea that beak meets pumpkin. And get some pictures of your bird with the pumpkin. I would love to see them. And if you send me the pictures, go to the website, www.maximoluccan.com. Contact information is all there. You can do a contact us form. I don't know if you can attach a file to it with a picture of a pumpkin or not, but if you send us a note and say, hey, I'm going to send you a pumpkin, if you cannot attach the picture of your bird eating the pumpkin, I can give you the email address, and I'm going to put up a little bit here on the Pumpkin Challenge on the website. Whoa, buddy! That was me. I kicked the camera. But yeah, I'll set that up so that you can send us pictures, and we'll take those pictures and we'll put them into a video that's a celebration of pumpkins for the year. And if you want to do a video of your bird eating pumpkin, 15 seconds or so is great. If you want to do a picture of him with the pumpkin, if you want to do a picture of him posing with the pumpkin, him or her, yeah, that would be a lot of fun. So that's Tico's Pumpkin Challenge, and I will get something formal up on the website, and I'm sure we can offer some sort of prize for that, right? And we'll have a little bit of pumpkin fun. Right, Max? My goodness, Max, that is fun. That is fun, yeah. But yeah, so pumpkins are actually really healthy for birds. Couple of things that people ask. What about the seeds? Do I need to hollow out the pumpkin first? Nope. The birds can eat the seeds. They don't have to be cooked. They can be fed raw. Just raw pumpkin is perfectly fine as long as you wash the outside first. Can you give it cut? Sure you can. But part of the fun is letting your bird do some of the carving. How long can you leave a pumpkin sitting in the cage? That's going to depend a lot about where you're at. Where's your humidity? Where's your heat? Etc. How long is that pumpkin going to be safe to leave out? Tico usually eats a pumpkin in a couple of days, so very, very quickly, and they do not last long. So I usually will give him a pumpkin in the morning and let him go at it all day, and the next day he'll finish it up, and then I'll haul things out. But I'm keeping a bit of an eye on what's happening. I will pull out the chewed up bits so that he has sort of a fresher pumpkin to go after. If something's not looking quite as fresh, I might take a knife and just sort of trim the very edge off or something. Yeah. But yeah, so be mindful about not leaving something in a cage too long. If you've got a small pumpkin, you could always toss it in the fridge. Tico does not let his pumpkins last very long. Yeah, pumpkins are going to be fun. Oh, Sharon, yeah, let's see Kane with his pumpkin. You know, let me tell, we're going to hang out for a few minutes longer because it's so nice and Max is happy. But how did pumpkins happen? Has Tico always eaten pumpkins? Nope. He discovered them a couple years ago. And like many things, I did not have a clue that I could give a pumpkin to a bird. And what happened one Halloween? That was a pigeon. And he just flew away really quickly, Max. I think he was scared. He was scared. Did you mean to scare him? But one Halloween, our friend Q, Max's friend Q, posted a picture of her carving a pumpkin. And I looked and I thought, oh, that would be kind of fun. So next time I went shopping, I did a little bit of quick research first. Next time I went shopping, I went and got Max a carving pumpkin. Crest Uptown. Yeah. Awesome. Hello. So next time I went shopping, I bought Max a pumpkin. I washed it well, and I put the pumpkin in his cage. And he looked at it and went. Actually, I left it sitting on a chair for a couple of days and sort of moved it closer to the cage incrementally, because I know that just throwing a big carving pumpkin in his cage could be akin to, hi, here's a parrot-eating monster. I mean, Max can be scared by a cob of corn sometimes, so I put it in his cage, and he ignored it. So I took pumpkin out, and I carved a couple of eyes and a mouth in pumpkin, and I put pumpkin back in, and I gave Tico one of the carved eyes, and he sort of went, this is delicious. He was really into it. And since Max was ignoring the pumpkin, I took it out of Max's cage and I gave it to Tico. And Tico was a little bit scared of it until he discovered that it had a whole bunch of sunflower seeds sitting on it. It was kind of big. It had sunflower seeds on it. It was okay. And he had some great ways to get in with the cuts for the eyes and the mouth. And he went after that pumpkin. He shredded that entire pumpkin and really enjoyed himself. He didn't get through it the same way that he does most pumpkins today, because he was still figuring out what these pumpkin things were. But, Tico decided this was his girlfriend and he was definitely going to eat her up. She was delicious. So what happens? I get him another pumpkin. And, he can't get into it himself. It's too hard to get into. So I take a knife, I stab it a number of times, I put a bunch of sunflower seeds in it. So it's now a black sunflower speckled pumpkin. And he has to dig the seeds out, and he manages to get a little bit of a beak in, still having problems, got a bit more of a slit into it. He enjoys the pumpkin. Still does not eat any of the pumpkin seeds. Next pumpkin. Hey, I know how this works. I already poked the holes for the sunflower seeds. He figures out how to get in himself, and the Pumpkin King was born. I mean, Max likes pieces of pumpkin. He does not like carving whole pumpkins, at least not yet. Tico, give him a whole pumpkin, and he is the happiest bird around. So there was a challenge on Twitter, and it was put out by an animal behavioralist who loves birds. She actually did a lot of work with African greys at rescue, where they basically live wild, and she was posting pictures of them going after pumpkins and whatnot, and she did a pumpkin challenge. She said, let's who's the Pumpkin King? Let's do a pumpkin challenge. And Tico said that it sounded delicious. He was up for it. So we started entering. Every time we had a new pumpkin or some footage, we started posting it up on Twitter. And sure enough, Tico was crowned the Pumpkin King. First year there was a contest, he won it. He's won it every single year since. Now Tico is a little bit single-minded. He's very dedicated to his art. But I'm sure that he has encouraged many birds to discover pumpkins and enjoy them. So let's get that Tico Pumpkin Challenge started this year. Oh, we've got some really nice clouds. It's a little bit overcast. It's a little bit cooler right now, which is beautiful. Now, Max, if you step on my arm, yeah, come on, come. I'm going to lean forward and look at comments. Yeah, he's been preening. He's been enjoying it. No pumpkin pie for the flock. Why? They'd love to eat it, I'm sure, but pumpkin pie has too much sugar in it. Sugar is not good for birds. You know, sugar and salt, not great for birds. Fresh pumpkin, much healthier. Now, if I have a pumpkin pie, they'll get a little bit of crust because it's just too mean not to share something. But when they get a little bit, they just get a little tiny nibble, and I usually try to offer them something else. Like if I'm having a piece of pumpkin pie, sounds delicious, I'm gonna have to make myself one. I will serve the birds, you know, here's some grapes, and they get to eat at the same time. Sometimes they get a little nibble of what I've got. Yeah. What are you reacting to? Your car won't start? But yeah, somebody asked if Max's beak is dirty. Yeah, it's got a little bit of powder on it, but it's not too bad. Like, that's just normal for his beak. It's, he likes wearing it en naturel. Yeah, perfectly fine. He loves the outdoors. Yeah. Oh, for Tico pumpkin lovers, we do have some fun merchandise in the store, including a magnet of Tico on a pumpkin. And we've got a few of those still available. We did have a pin with Tico and the pumpkin, but I think that one sold out yesterday on our Etsy store. So I'm going to just make an extra sweep to make sure to check and see if I have any others of that one. But I think I'm sold out of that one. It's been a bestseller, and I probably should have restocked that one before October comes. Yeah, I could still pull a few in, huh? You tell me, should we? Yeah. Yeah, but we'll definitely restock the Tico pumpkin magnets before Halloween, but it'll be a couple of weeks before we can do that. Oh, our friend Jan is leaving. Karen has to go. My goodness. Yeah, we've been up for a while. Sharon, thank you for... Sharon's one of our moderators. She is our moderator, and she is fantastic. She's here. She helps us out. She keeps an eye on questions. She just shared the link to Max's Etsy store, maxthemoluccan.etsy.com. Awesome. But she also makes sure that things remain civil in chat. And that's one of the hardest things when you're streaming, is you can't be there at all times reading comments. Even though I have the camera facing me, it is sunny out here. You can see I'm shadowing myself just to see what's on the camera. And the comments can be a little bit hard to read. So I try to keep up with them, but I sometimes miss some of them. So super, super helpful that she's out. She's super knowledgeable. Sharon also runs a Facebook group called Northwest Bird Sitters. Go ahead and post some information about the group in chat if you like, Sharon. Just trying to connect people with parrots in Northwest United States with like-minded bird lovers. you know, make some friends who like birds, and maybe even find somebody to help take care of a bird when they are out of town or traveling. Now, you know, obviously her group, you know, she's just setting up something where people can meet each other. She's not doing any guarantees on fitness for purpose. She's not screening people. You know, she's doing this out of the goodness of her heart, just helping people make connections. So treat, you know, it's buyer beware. If you're looking for bird sitters through the group, you need to vet them. You need to ask the questions. You need to ask for references. You need to get to know them. You need to determine if you're comfortable trusting them or not. So always buyer beware on that. Yeah. Awesome, Max. But yeah, but it's, you know, I know a lot of bird owners in town, and it's super nice to know so many of them, because you get to know people, and you know, bird owners are a special flock, right, Max? Yeah. You want some preening. So Max, can I get one more buck? How about a buck? Buck. Yes, my neighbors think I'm insane. Oh, Max. I know. I think Max does it on purpose. He makes me buck. Hey, Max, can I get a buck? Buck. Okay, I'll take that. You think that you want to cheer on the buckers? All right. Buck. That was a really nice way to tell everybody how to have a wonderful Sunday. If you missed the stream or parts of it, you can always go back and watch it. You still have some barking to do? I'll let you go for a minute. Okay, I think Max is finished. But yeah, we'll see everybody again soon. So buck, everybody. Let's go here.